Alright, so welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744. So today, guys, I want to talk to you guys about the top 10 transfers made in the January window of 2023. I think I'm going to be doing this from now on. Every single transfer window, we'll be doing a top 10 transfers from that window. And I'm going to set some rules in place, okay? Listen carefully to the rules, okay? Rule number one is that these players have to be there have to be joined this January window. So, for example, if a player is agreed, like for example, let's say a club agrees that the player will join the summer, it does not count. Okay. Rule number two is that the player has to have a buy option with the loan, because the point of this loan is to see if it goes well, and then they'll buy it if it goes well, right? Because if it's just a loan, it's not really anything long term wise. So no straight loans will be included in this. Okay. And number three is that I'm only picking one player from each club. Okay. So one club can get one transfer. Okay. So the receiving club can only have one transfer in this video. And the reason why he did that is because some clubs, in particular Chelsea, made so many signings that I would have to basically put every single Chelsea player in the video. And rather than do all that, I feel like it'd be a lot injustice to the other clubs. So that's why I figured it'd be best if we just did it every club gets one transfer. Okay. So you can send as many players as you want, but if you want to get nominated in my video, you can only get one transfer, okay? So, as I said, that's my rules. And yeah, as I said, I think that's enough introductions, man. That's enough introductions. So, let's go ahead and get started with our number 10 pick, guys. Number 10, it is, of course, Guillermo Rulli. Now, I think this is one of the most underrated transfers made in this window. And the fact that Ajax got him, I think it's Ajax got him, and I believe it's for free as well. I have to double check. Is a brilliant piece of business, because the thing with Ajax is that their players have declined so much, and they needed to replace Onana, and Stecklenburg is just not it. He's just not that guy, man. He wasn't even well rated. He was not even rated by their own coach, Louis van Gaal, at the World Cup. They even had to play uncapped Norbert, I believe, at the World Cup, which is incredible. That just shows how underwhelming he is. And I think Rulli, for me, can definitely help Ajax. Although Ajax this season have been very underwhelming. They recently just sacked Schroeder as their coach. They're looking for a new coach as things stand. And currently, things aren't looking great for them in terms of Eredivisie. And they definitely will not, I don't think they're going to win the Eredivisie this season. So, now they're going to try to salvage and try to maybe get a Champions League qualification route, or at the very least Europa League, because I believe the current position is Europa Conference League. So things are looking a bit tough for them. So hopefully with their new coach, they do well. Okay. And for Villarreal, I would say it's a big loss for them. Big loss, because I believe they have Jorgensen as their goalkeeper, and the guy is just not as good as Rulli. Rulli is way better, man. Rulli's way better. Moving on to number 9. The number 9 pick I have, it is Solbakken. Now, I believe this is also another very underrated transfer that no one has really discussed about. I believe this, for me, is a brilliant piece of transfer by Roma. And I think for Bodo Glimt, this is a big loss for them, because he was one of their best wingers for them. He was one of their best goal scorers as well. And the fact that Roma got him for free is an incredible piece of business. And it shows what Mourinho can do with this, the leverage he has, right? And I just think it shows how, because the thing with Roma is I really believe they're a good team, but they need some more firepower. They need some more attack. Dybala and Tammy Abraham is just not going to be enough, because Danilo has been not really been that consistent. And I believe that if they can get I believe the Solbakken can really be well for them, then he could really help Roma cook and get that top 4 position. Because right now, guys, top 4 is really competitive in Serie A. With basically Napoli being the only assured team at top 4. Every other team is not even guaranteed. So it's going to be very interesting to see whether Roma can get top 4 or not. And of course, the Europa League is going to be the main priority for them, because of course they're going to try to see if they can win that competition. Of course, we're going to have to wait as time goes on, but yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting, guys. It's going to be very, very interesting in that regard. So for me, brilliant piece of business from Roma. Number 8 I have is this guy. His name is Ayari. Now, this is one of the more underrated transfers, and I think it's a very kind of a less talked about one. And I think for me, the brilliant piece of business from Brighton once again shows, like, whenever Brighton gets a young prospect, it always balls out for them, And I believe in some ways it's probably the replacement for Trossard, as they left Trossard to Arsenal. And I think this is going to be a great piece of business from AIK, a very young player. I don't really know too much about him. I just know he's really talented, and he's he's 19 years old, I believe. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do for Brighton, and who knows, maybe he could have be a success for them, because Mitoma's been really good. You expect Mitoma to leave this summer probably, and maybe like Caicedo as well, etc. And yeah, I think it's a really good piece of business from Brighton. And once again, man, Brighton, man, one of the best teams in the Premier League this season. Absolutely fantastic team. They've been playing so well as a unit. I really enjoy watching this team. Number 7, I have is Weston McKennie, man. My American guy, man. My American guy. Oh, man. Weston McKennie, man. I'm glad he left Juventus. I feel like for me, for his own sake, it was best that he left Juventus. And it just, things just didn't work out. And even though he was decent for them at the earlier the season scoring goals, you could just tell that he just wasn't really fitting the system under Allegri's football. And I feel like with Leeds United, with the more expansive possession-based football they're going to be playing, it's going to be interesting to see how we could do it for Leeds. Because the thing about Leeds is that they have like so many American-based players. They already got Tyler Adams, Brent Aronson, Jesse Marsh. The American contingency is continuing. And we can see a midfield of McKennie, Adams, and Aronson. That could be an insane midfield, guys. So that could be an insane midfield. And I think McKennie could be a great asset for Juventus. I'm sorry, not for Juventus. Sorry, Leeds United. As for Leeds, I believe they have a 40 million purchase option, I believe. So, if things go well, they can purchase him, and it's going to be a great, great accusation, of course, the American contingency. So I'm really excited as American to see what Leeds can do, and I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye upon Leeds more in the Premier League this season. I'm definitely going to try to watch more of their games. Number 6, Cody Gakpo. Now, I already discussed about Cody Gakpo already in my earlier video, I believe, earlier in the month, last year, I believe, I might have done. I'm going to quickly just reiterate myself. I think Cody Gakpo is a brilliant piece of business from Liverpool, and I think it's a great player. Now, my concern with Cody Gakpo is that I believe he's best deployed as a left winger. I think Liverpool needs to stop playing him as a striker because this guy just cannot be a striker for them. And I believe if you can play him as a left winger, play Darwin Nunez in the middle, and then play right wing Mohamed Salah, of course, then I think he could really do well. Because I think him at striker just doesn't work. It just doesn't work, and I think Liverpool needs to fix that up because otherwise it's not going to work out. So we'll see if he can be a success for the remainder of this year because so far it's not really been great. And maybe being in the top 10 is a bit too generous. Although, like I said, I do still think he's a great player, and I do think we need to give him some time. So I don't want to get too reactionary, of course, just yet. Number 5 is Trossard. Once again, I already did another video on Trossard, so you guys can check it out. I'm going to reiterate myself. I think it's a great, great piece of business from Arsenal, and I think it's going to give great competition for Martinelli because Martinelli, for me, this season has not really been that amazing, and I feel like he can compete with Martinelli for the left wing spot because obviously right wings will be Bukayo Saka, that's no doubt, and obviously Odegaard will be striker, and then strikers will be Eddie and Nketiah. So left wing is pretty much vacant, and I just think that for me he's a really good player, and we saw what he did against Man United, and of course Man City had a good performances there, and obviously against Man United he helped contribute to the winning goals. So you have to give him his flowers and appreciation because I do think he's a great squad player and could even be a starter if Martinelli doesn't fix up his form, to be honest. So great squad player to have, and he's a very, very good player for Brighton, as we know, guys. So number 4, for me, it is Pedro Porro. Now, I believe this is one of the best pieces of business that Spurs did because for me, their right wing back position was so detrimental. You had the likes of Pedro. You had the likes of who's the guy? Emerson Royale, who's been a disastrous this season. He's been terrible this season. Absolute garbage. Then you have Doherty. He's not really been that great. In fact, they actually terminated Doherty. And so basically, I think Pedro Porro is going to be the right wing back. And he could really give, he could be that right wing back that Spurs need because we know Spurs played a 5 at the back. And he could give them that attacking width and, of course, a defensive cover as well because this guy has been brilliant. This guy has been brilliant for Sporting. It's a great piece of business from Spurs. And it's actually thanks to Spurs that they actually got Bellerin. So Sporting got Bellerin as a replacement, and as a Barca fan, I'm actually glad we got rid of Bellerin. So, I had to throw that in there. But, yeah, as I said, man, I think it's a brilliant piece of business. And let's see what Pedro Porro can do in the Premier League for Spurs. Number 3. Now, this is a quality signing. This is an amazing signing, guys. Onahi, one of the best World Cup breakout stars we've seen in the World Cup. One of the best players of the World Cup. He was one of the best Moroccan players of the World Cup. He was fantastic for Morocco, and he's playing for Angers, a team that's not really been doing great so well this season, on the brink of getting relegation. And obviously, as a talented player, you don't want to play in the second division, I would imagine. So he made that big move to Marseille, and we know Marseille is one of the biggest clubs in France, and I still believe they're a bigger club than PSG. I still believe they are. I don't care what anyone says, historically speaking. And I just feel like for me, this is a great piece of business. And with them letting Gerson go to Flamengo, this is a great replacement. This is a brilliant piece of business for Marseille. And Marseille have had a really great transfer window. They've had a really great transfer. They signed Vitinha from Braga, I believe. So that's a really good piece of business. I do think this one is a bit better, which is why I selected him in this list. However, you could have selected that Vitinha guy. And I just think for Marseille, man, really good piece of business. And like I said, man, I better see Marseille at least get third in the League One. I better see that happen. Number two, guys. Number two for me is Joao Cancelo. Guys, this is a signing. This is a signing. Now, I know it's a loan deal, so don't come at me and says, yeah, I know it's a loan deal. But this guy, I could see Bayern buying him. I genuinely can see Bayern buying him because Joao Cancelo is one of the best fullbacks in the world. Yes, defensively, I still think he is a bit vulnerable, and I still do think he needs to work on his defensive work rate. But when you look at his quality as a whole, he's a quality player. And with Masraoui pretty much being out for some period of time and Pavard being not that great, they're gonna be playing at the right back position. And we could see a partnership of Alphonso Davies and Joao Cancelo. How insane that would be, guys, because this guy, attacking wise, is a big threat. He can offer you creativity, offer you space, he can offer you goal scoring. This guy has everything it takes to be a fullback, attacking wise. Just defensively, man, he needs to brush up a bit. And I do believe he's going to suit Bayern better because Bayern's more of an attack-minded team, whereas Man City is more about like a possession-based team. So I do think he would suit Bayern more, be more attack-minded, and help Bayern break down those low block kind of teams that they've been struggling against in recent games. Of course, they've tied 3 games in a row in the Bundesliga. And could we actually have a title race? I don't want to get too excited, man. I don't want to get too excited, but I still expect Bayern to win the league, of course. But anyways, I think it's a really great piece of business from Bayern Munich, of course. And they have a buy option of $7 million, which is pretty insane to think. And now, the number 1 pick. You guys know I had to put this now number 1. Number 1, guys. This guy has to be number 1, guys. No one else deserves to be number 1, guys. It is freaking Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez was one of the best players of World Cup last year. He was fantastic, providing that link-up play, providing the quality, the pace, the athleticism. He just has everything it takes to be a midfielder. Because one of the biggest issues I noticed with Chelsea is that their midfield is so average. People talk about their attack being bad. People talk about their defense being bad. But I think the midfield has been really one of the big alarming concerns. Because when you have players like Jorginho, who I know just left to Arsenal, by the way, which is a very weird deal. Maybe we'll speak about that another day. You have the likes of Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount. He can offer you that technicality. Because unlike those players like Gallagher and Jorginho, they don't have the technical ability compared to Enzo Fernandez. And I feel like Enzo can really offer you so much more. And I feel like Enzo could really work in this Chelsea team. And we know this Chelsea team made a lot of signs. Modric, they of course they got a center back from Monaco. They even got, I think that Leon right back, although he's on loan right now. Then obviously they got Madueke as well. They got so many signings. Jeez, man. Jeez, it's hard to keep track of how many signs they made because the amount of signs they made. And so for Enzo Fernandez, man, I think he's a really good midfielder. And I'm really excited to see what he could do for Chelsea. And, he can definitely help Chelsea get that he can definitely help Chelsea a lot this season because they're going to really need it. So that's pretty much my top 10 transfers. Like I said, guys, I want you guys to do the same as well. Please also do the same rules as I did to make things interesting. And so I want to know what you guys think of the comment section below. And guys, if you made it this far, please, by all means, consider hitting that like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. Comment down below your thoughts, comment section below. Also become a member of the channel to get access to members' videos and member streams. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it on my part. So make sure you guys check out me in my description below. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.